Hey guys, it's Lindsay here. We are going to be in my kitchen cooking today. So up to this point, I've shown you meal prep stuff, and now I am going to show you some recipes that I use. And if you could pay attention to my page, I'm just having a post where if you have some healthy recipes you would like to share to see it come here on my page and videotaped, then please put them on that link, or you can even put them connected to this video and let me know some really good healthy recipes that you would like to see. So we are in my kitchen and we are going to cook today. Okay guys, so we're in the kitchen. We are going to be cooking a shrimp sausage, potato corn, I guess you want to call it a roast. It's going to be kind of like a casserole. So I would like you to see this and give me some likes and some thumbs up, and I'm going to get started here. Okay, so the first thing I started with was the Little Bite Potato Company's potatoes. They are little itty bitty potatoes. I am taking those and I put them in a big pot, and we are going to get this baby boiling. And once it starts boiling, I am going to turn the timer on for 5 minutes. So let's see it. Okay, so while I have that boiling, I'm going to get out these 2 casserole dishes, and they fit perfectly in my stove together. But in the big one, I'm going to be putting the potatoes and the corn, and in this other little one, I'm going to be putting turkey sausage and shrimp. All right, guys. So I am going to take this while it's boiling. Well, trying to get it to boil. I'm going to take this and I am going to cut it up. Alright guys, something else I am going to do is set my stove for, I don't know if this will be backwards to you, but 425, so that it gets nice and warm and ready and preheated by the time I need it. Okay guys, so I have gotten my potatoes to really start boiling, and if you don't know the trick, if you shake your bowl over the over a glass stove anyways, it might, you get it to warm up quicker. So I have officially sat and shooken it for a few minutes, but I was doing other things, so that kind of helps with time too. But I am officially going to turn my timer on for 5 minutes. And as soon as that is done, I will be back on and I'll show you what I do next. Alright, my timer is about to go off. And I am at this time going to take half of a pack of frozen corn and I'm going to put it in. Alright, so I got those in. I kind of push them down a little bit if I can. And then I come back up here and I put another 5 more minutes on my timer. So while I have the corn and the potatoes in there, I'm going to take the shrimp and the sausage and put it in the small casserole dish at the end. I do want to say that I got the cheap brand here, but basically this is the only way I can a lot of times find a small and not an extra small, peeled, deveined, and tail off. And otherwise I would have to order it online, and I don't really want to spend the extra charge for all that. So right now this is what's close to us, and that's Walmart. Aldi's has one, and it's okay too, but I a lot of times have to really search for their shrimp. That is, and you can even go with the extra small. I would prefer the medium, but the small and the extra small is what I can always find. Peeled, deveined, and tail off. But if you want to sit and play with it and peel it, devein it, and tail off, then that's all up to you, or however you want to do it. Alright guys, so I have put all them together. I haven't really made it pretty or anything. I just throw it in. And if you have seen me do this before, you have seen me do it with butter, garlic, minced garlic, and Old Bay seasoning. But I am going to try, I'm trying to cut back as much of the butter as possible. So we're going to try the extra virgin olive oil with garlic and Old Bay seasoning. And I don't even have to put this in the microwave to get it put together. So let's just see how that goes. So while I was mixing that, the buzzard for the corn and the potatoes has went off, so I have turned it off, and also my preheat buzzard has went off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to strain it in the sink, and then I'm going to put it in this casserole dish. And the reason why I do not mix the meat with the vegetables is because when I normally mix the meat with the vegetables, the shrimp doesn't get cooked enough. So I, a lot of times, will separate the meat from the vegetables so that the shrimp gets fully cooked and not still frozen. That also makes where the potatoes will sometimes end up a little crispy, but what I try to do is leave a little bit of water in there so that it doesn't get over dry. So try to remember that when you go to strain it a little bit from the water, to maybe leave a little bit of that water in there so that it doesn't get over dry. Now, I'll show you what I mean by a little bit of water in just a second when I strain it. Alright guys, so I have the corn and the potatoes actually in here, and if you see in here, I have just a little bit of the water. I don't know if you can see it splashing in there. A little bit of the water down in there. And I mean just a tiny bit. You don't need like to fill it all the way up or anything, but you just don't want it to get overcooked. So what normally happens is if you have the meat mixed in with the vegetables, that shrimp will defrost, I think that's the word I want to use, defrost and melt, and that frostiness on the shrimp will melt and leave a little residue of water within the potatoes, which keeps it from getting a little bit of a brown crispiness to it. So I want to keep the water in there to keep it moist so that it's not over crisping on me. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and this is actually going to be for both. So I'm going to pour it over the top, and then I will show you what that looks like, because I am not one-handed at this. So I'm going to pause you guys, I'm going to do it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I have put the sauce stuff over the top of the corn and the potatoes and the shrimp and the sausage, and I have actually added a tiny bit more of the Old Bay seasoning so that it will make sure that there is flavor on all the above, but it will all cook together. It's kind of like roasting something. If you're going to put potatoes and carrots in to roast them, you're going to put a little olive oil on it with a bunch of seasoning and rub them down. So I have literally rubbed them down a little bit, mixed them up, put them all together. And now it is time to put them in the stove. Okay, so I take my 2 casserole dish and put them in just like this, and I put it in for 20 minutes, and then voila! And they look fabulous, and they taste fabulous, and the kids eat them all up. And actually the potatoes are really, really good the second day. Alright guys, so I just wanted to say really quick right here. This is a very awesome meal for one of those like nights that you have a lot of going on, but you don't have to go out. So this could be a night that you're working on a book report with one of your kids, or you haven't quite gotten your chores all done, or it's just a little crazy and out of whack. And I like to always prepare that to be a Monday to be out of whack. And so I always try to come up with a quick, easy meal, and this one is definitely it. So I really hope that you really enjoy this meal. It's one of our favorites, and I hope that you can take it and use it as one of yours. Alright guys, so if you really like this dish, please give me a thumbs up, let me know, give me comments or questions about this dish. And if you could, make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell, and that way you're notified every time that I post a new video on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you give me lots of likes and questions, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.